Have you ever told yourself, yeah, I'll start investing, when I actually have some money? Well, guess what? That one thought, that one little bit of hesitation could literally be costing you a fortune. Today, we're going to flip that idea on its head and show you how to build real, honest-to-God wealth starting with just $100. Let's do this.
Okay, let's start with the stakes, because they are high. This number you see, $1.2 million, that is not some made-up clickbait number. It's the potential cost for an average person who gets stuck on that idea that you need thousands of dollars just to get in the game. It is the price of waiting, and it's exactly why we need to talk about this. So, that brings us to the big question, right? If waiting is so expensive, how in the world do you actually get started when you're working with a small amount? How do you turn $100 into something meaningful for your future? Let's break down how it's done.
All right, first things first, we have got to tear down the single biggest myth that stops people from even starting. This idea that the amount of money you begin with is what matters most. It's just not true. As you're about to see, the real magic, the real power is hiding somewhere else entirely. Okay, just look at this math because it's kind of mind-blowing. On the left, we've got someone who starts investing at 25, putting in just $100 a month. Simple enough. But on the right, you have someone who waits a decade until they're 35 and they invest double that amount, $200 a month. And look what happens. The person who started early ends up with over $50,000 more, even though they put in $24,000 less of their own cash. I mean, that's wild, right? And that's the whole point. How much time your money is in the market beats how much money you start with every single time.
Now, to be fair, this whole fear of starting small, it wasn't always crazy. For a really long time, the system was basically designed to keep people like you and me out. Investing was a rich person's game. And yeah, the deck was stacked against the little guy.
And this slide right here shows you just how dramatically things have changed. I mean, think about it. Back in the 90s, if you wanted to invest your $100, you could have paid a $30, maybe even $50 commission fee right off the top. Half your money gone before you even started. It made starting small impossible. But now, today, those barriers have been completely demolished. We're talking $0 commissions, no account minimums, and fees so low they're practically invisible. The entire game has changed.
So if the actual financial barriers are gone, what's stopping us? Well, the biggest roadblocks are now in our own heads, and we all run into them. There's magnitude neglect, that little voice in your brain that says, come on, what's $100 going to do? It'll never amount to anything. Or how about waiting for a windfall, that classic, I'll start investing when I get that big promotion or that bonus that, well, it might never show up. The thing to remember is these aren't your fault. They aren't personal failings. They are just common mental traps. And just knowing what they are is the first step to sidestepping them for good.
So, if starting early and being consistent is the secret sauce, what's the actual engine that makes it all work? Well, it's not about being a genius stock picker or getting lucky. It's about using one of the most powerful, and I mean powerful, forces in the universe of finance, compound growth.
So, what is it? Put really simply, compound growth is your money making babies. And then those babies grow up and start making their own babies. It's this incredible snowball effect. It starts off really, really slow. So slow you might not even notice it. But you give it enough time, and that little snowball turns into an avalanche.
And this chart just lays it all out. Focus on that pure growth column for a second. Okay, after 10 years, you've put in $12,000, and your money has grown by about $6,000. That's nice. It's good, but it's probably not going to change your life. Now jump down to year 40. You've put in $48,000 over all those years, but the growth alone is over $300,000. At that point, your money is working way, way harder than you are.
And this is exactly why so many people give up way too early. Look at that first decade. It feels like a total slog. You only get up to about $18,000. But then look at decade 2. It adds almost 3 times that amount. And then decade 3 adds almost 90,000 more. The whole secret is that you have to power through that slow, boring first decade to get to the really explosive, exciting growth later on.
Okay, the math works. We get it. But where, specifically, do you put the $100? Let's get into the practical stuff, the actual tools you can pick up and use, like today. This is the how-to.
Now we're going to keep this super simple. We're only looking at the absolute best Tier 1 options for beginners. The goal here is to get you started effectively without getting bogged down in analysis paralysis and trying to pick from a million different things. We want simple and powerful.
So here they are. These are your two new best friends. First up, you have broad market index ETFs. Just think of this as buying one single thing that holds a tiny slice of almost every big company in the US. It gives you massive diversification for almost no cost. Your second option is a target date index fund. This is the ultimate set it and forget it choice. You just pick the year you think you might retire, and the fund does all the work for you, adjusting your risk as you get older. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either one.
And this quote right here really drives the point home. Think about this for a second. For $100, you instantly become a part owner of Apple and Microsoft and Amazon and thousands of other companies. You're not trying to find the one magic stock that's going to take off. You're just betting on the long-term growth of the entire American economy. And that's a much smarter and safer bet to make.
All right, we've gone through the why and the what. Now it's time for the most important part of all, the how. This is your immediate action plan to go from just watching this to actually doing it.
Here we go. A simple 3-step plan you can literally get done this week. Step 1, open an account. A Roth IRA is an amazing choice if you can get one. It's a special retirement account where all your growth, all that money it makes over the years, can be taken out completely tax-free in retirement. Step 2, automate it. This is so important. Link your bank account and set up an automatic transfer for every time you get paid. This takes the emotion out of it and builds the habit. And finally, step 3, make the investment. Buy that first $100 of a fund. That's it. You've done it. You are officially an investor. And let's just end on this one thought, because it's the most important takeaway of all. That first $100 you invest, it is, mathematically speaking, the most powerful and valuable dollar you will ever invest in your entire life. Why? Because it has the most time to grow, to compound, to work for you. So the question really isn't, can I afford to invest $100? The real question is, can you afford not to?